Welcome to the live stream. Oh, looks like I got an ad playing on my phone. Well, maybe you do too. Anyway, welcome to you early joiners. I have a question. The Nowder, happy Friday. JJ man, whoops. I'm wondering, did y'all hear the music that should have been playing? Hey, Bobby. Good evening to you in the UK. This is one, I'll get to that in a second. Just wanted to find out, when the live stream started, I had music playing, and I wanted to know if y'all could hear it. Hi, Florm, Kivo, Carlos. Welcome to the live stream, everyone. I'm doing an early live stream for a Friday. Okay, thanks, Bobby. Or Bobbles? Bobbles McFiggin? There's got to be a story behind that. Hey, Tetra. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to everyone. So listen, I decided I want to do a little bit earlier than normal live stream for a Friday. And I was going to do it earlier, but I just couldn't put it together in time with enough notification. Well, I could have if I'd have notified yesterday, but I didn't know what I was doing today until this morning. So, be that as it may, I wanted to have provide folks from Europe an opportunity to tune in for a live stream with me on a Friday evening. For those of you who aren't out doing something else on a Friday evening, thank you for joining me here. Hey, Trekker King. Welcome to the stream. Okay. Thanks, Bobbles. That's good to know. Well, listen, we're going to get started here. I've already booked a load. We are in Tucumcari, New Mexico, because that's partly because that's the last place that I left off, and also because I found a load that I wanted. So we're going to grab this load in just a minute. I am still driving with my flatbed trailer with the lift axles and the steering axle. But I've got the axles lifted so that they're not interfering, and we're going to go over here and back into that spot over yonder by that light pole. So that's where we're going to get the flatbed loaded. So, that's crazy, Carlos, but I can relate. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to focus on driving instead of the chat. Because I've got some maneuvering to do here. It's going to be tight. If I'd have known in advance how this layout was going to be, I could have backed down here from the street. But this works. Uh-oh, we're up on the curb. Didn't mean to do that, and that's not good for the tires. Or in this case, the steer tire. No, I need to pull it out farther yet. There we go. All we need to do on this first back is to get close. And then I'll make an adjustment. It says we're there. Let me pull up and get in there a little bit better. I know I should go with good enough. It is just a flatbed. It's when I'm not backing into a dock. Oops, I guess we're too far over to the left. Now this is where that mirror above the passenger door window comes in handy. I can see how close I am to the curb. Now I thought... Oh. We've reached the end. I'm focused on the mirror too much. You got to keep your head on a swivel, or that could happen. I should have gone with good enough. All right, now we're going to get our load. And while we're getting our load, I'm going to look at comments. Ah. Hey, Adam. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, JJ, man, having a little OCD. I run into that problem from time to time, and I'm going to tell you where I'm going now that we've got the load of waste paper. Seem to be doing a lot of waste paper loads lately. Let's look at the map. So we are leaving Tucumcari, and we are going to Seattle. That is a distance of nearly 1,600 miles. So, pretty long haul. So we're going to the Union Pacific yard, way up yonder. Yeah, it's going to be a nice long drive. And I'm going to cover some territory I haven't covered yet with this profile, such as between here and Albuquerque on I-40, and then US 550 I haven't done. So this is going to be a nice run. It'll take us 28 hours, over 28 hours of driving time. Hi, Dinu. Welcome to the stream. All right. So I need to look at where I'm going to stop for a 10-hour break. Right now, what's on our clock? We've got 10 hours on the clock currently, so I've already burned some time. So we can't go more than 500 miles. So let's see, can we get to Farmington? That is 356 miles. Okay, if that is there, then I should be able to make it to this casino travel center. That's 400 miles. How far is it to Monticello? 477 miles. Okay. This is basically going to be a 3-day trip. So we'll see if we can make it to Monticello in southeastern Utah. If not, if it's not looking like it, then we'll stop here at this travel center just inside southwestern Colorado. All right. Take one more peek. There's always other routes, Adam, but this is the route that makes the most sense from a truck driving standpoint. There's not really any bad hills. We're not heavy. Well, kind of. 38,772 pounds. But this is the shortest route. And if I were driving this as a truck driver in real life, this is the route I would take. Just wanted to make sure that my raised axles dropped after I got loaded.
Stay left, and then turn left. Turn left.
Now, I figure there probably won't be as many folks on here on a Friday, which is midday for me, mid-afternoon for folks on the East Coast of the U.S. But I know it's an evening and time in Europe. So I thought it'd be nice to accommodate folks in Europe a little bit more.
Get ready to turn right. Turn right. Stay left.
All right. Since this is a World of Trucks external contract, we are capped at 65 miles per hour, which is just fine. I need to make sure I don't miss a turn. Whoa. Going a little fast for that. Almost rolled it. I forgot about that sharp turn here. I did that once before. Weeks and weeks ago. I had a top-heavy load. And I took that curve at about 65 and I rolled it. I was pretty shocked that it happened too. RJ. Love and support from, and I do not recognize that flag. Forgive me, please. I don't know what country that is, but I appreciate the sentiment. And the type of truck that I am driving is what I always drive. I should probably put that information down in the description. But I am driving a Kenworth W900. And I've got a custom skin. My company name on it. Jamaica. Oh, a viewpoint. Well, shoot. I would have liked to have hit that viewpoint. Well, thanks for letting me know, RJ. There's a lot of countries' flags that I'm familiar with. That was not one of them. I apologize for that. You know, it just occurred to me that I mapped out a stop based on 10 hours of driving. And the reality is, you never get all your time in driving. I think we're probably going to have to stop in Farmington or that casino travel center. All right, we are coming up in Albuquerque. And I think that we are going to be cutting north once we get to the big interchange. But we're not getting off on Louisiana Boulevard.
Stay left.
Yep, we are going to head north on Interstate 25.
Stay right.
Oops, not there.
Stay right.
Oh, a viewpoint down there at the truck stop coming up. Well, JJ, man, I guess I'm lucky too. I haven't rolled in quite a while, but I have. Yeah, it's always embarrassing when it happens. And a big shocker. Whoa, this is the way I want to go.
Stay right. Then exit right.
Adam, Interstate 25 does go to Las Vegas. Las Vegas, New Mexico,
Stay left. Then turn left.
but not Las Vegas, Nevada.
Turn left.
Las Vegas, Nevada is accessed through Interstate 15. So Las Vegas, New Mexico is north of here. I don't believe it's actually represented in the map. That would create a bit of a conflict, though. Now, I got the question, or was asked the question earlier about what kind of truck I'm driving. I did answer that. Kenworth W900. But I also get the question fairly frequently, what mods am I running? Well, all of the mods that I'm currently running in right now are listed in the description below. Not only the list, but the sequence that I use them in from top to bottom. All but 2 of them are available through Steam. The two that are not, one of them is a custom truck skin that was created for me by one of the members of my Discord. And the other one is the Kriechbaum engine sounds mod. But there's a link to take you to the forums, the SCS forums, where you can download it. And then if you don't know how to utilize it or install it, I actually have a video on how to do that, and it is also linked to in the description below. The other piece of information available in the description is the specs for my PC, as well as all of the equipment that I'm using, like the steering wheel, the shifter, the cameras, although I'm only using one camera at the moment. But my recording and streaming software, all of that. Hello, Mishka. So, Mishka Nestor, that name sounds familiar. I wonder if is that from Firefly? I love that series. Firefly is a sci-fi adventure, whatever, that came out, I don't know, 20 years ago. Only one season, unfortunately. I love it. I didn't watch it when it was out, you know, in real time. But I have the whole series on DVD, and I watch it about once a year. And then there's the movie that came out later. I also watched that. I think I bought that on Amazon, and I stream it about once a year. I don't know why, I just love that show. Dave, welcome to the stream. I have not made a delivery in Yellowstone as of yet. I've been through there in the game, but I have not made any deliveries in the Yellowstone National Park. Carlos, I agree. There's an awful lot of amount of recycled packaging loads. Although, in real life, that happens a lot. I've certainly done some. The stuff that I'm hauling on the back of this trailer right now, I have done a load similar to this with dry van. I hauled it somewhere in Northern California. I hauled it to Flagstaff. And they used it, they recycled it into paper towels. The brown ones like you see in the public restrooms? Yeah, those. Those were recycled from packaging material, cardboard. Boxes. Very similar to these.
Go straight.
What do we got left for time? Less than 4
Then
hours.
turn left. Turn left.
I am really surprised I made this light. Farmington.
And then turn right. Turn right.
Well, apparently discovering Farmington was one of the achievements on Steam. I think it's associated with discovering every city in the state of New Mexico. The San Juan River. Looks muddy. All right. Alright, I saw 3 comments that I want to try and get to. Let me just get up to speed here. What goes on at the distribution center? I assume you're talking about like a Walmart distribution center. They also have grocery store distribution centers. What happens there? Essentially, they are warehouses for, chain stores like Walmart, whatever grocery store chain you have in your area. But we just use Walmart as a catch-all. So every distribution center supports some number of stores
Stay right, and then turn right.
in their region.
Turn right.
And that is where outside companies deliver to, typically. You know, large amounts of the same types of things. And it's warehouse at distribution centers, and they fill the needs of the individual stores with pretty much everything that they need. And all of these distribution centers, they have bulk dry storage for regular goods, like, I don't know, boxes of cereal, the toilet paper, paper products. They also have refrigerated storage for things like dairy products, and they have frozen storage for things like ice cream and other things that need to be frozen. So they get the stuff in there and they distribute it out to the individual stores on an as-needed basis. So it becomes a collection point and distribution center. It's all part of the logistics chain. All right, we are getting...
Right, and then turn right.
What is this town? I don't recall.
Turn right.
Hope that answers your question. And we are going to be stopping up here. In just a little bit, south of Cortez. JJ, man, I'm not sure if I know that if I'm qualified to answer that question about having 3 versus 2 axles on a truck. It's more about weight distribution. Welcome to Colorado. So, typically, from what I've seen, a tractor or a trailer might have a 3rd axle that's a drop axle. And it just helps to support and more weight. In some cases, the 3rd axle is also a steering axle, but not so much in the US. At least not that I've seen. Carlos, you could be right about being an opportunity to add box trucks to the game, but the reality is companies like Walmart and the other grocery store distribution centers, or that have distribution centers,
Please make a U-turn when possible.
they use tractor trailers with day cabs to deliver to individual stores. And depending on what they're doing, they'll use 48 or 53-foot trailers. They go out to the individual stores. But unlike a truck, an over-the-road truck like what I did, oops. Trying to pull in to something where I can then back in. When I did over the road, I would bring a fully loaded 53-foot dry van trailer or a reefer trailer, I did both, to a distribution center, and I would essentially have the whole thing loaded with all of one type of product. Generally. You know, I might haul refrigerated product from a dairy producer and it had several different things in the trailer, but it would all be from that company, whatever, you know, ice cream, milk. Well, that wouldn't be on the same trailer, but anyway, then it goes to the distribution center. Then the trucks, the company trucks from the distribution center would go out to the individual stores with only the stuff that that particular store needed. You know, it might be a couple of pallets of toilet paper, a couple more paper towels, you know, a few more skids of different things. And it would be more or less a load that would go to an individual store, or they might go to several stores. So, yeah, it is interesting. Adam, I have been to the Four Corners of the U.S. Not the exact Four Corners, but I have been to that area, which is just southwest of here a little bit. Let me advance the time. Set it for 7 p.m. And we'll sleep for 10, or we'll take a 10-hour break. And we're starting at 5 a.m. All right, let's plot out our next stop. So we are not stopping here. I do want to stop here, however, because I keep forgetting to. I'm going to put a marker there. And now I want to go out about another 400 miles, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure how far that is. But we'll go with it for now. Should be doable. Jack the Lot, thank you for answering that question. It's pretty much the same here in the US. And welcome to the live stream, by the way. So regular, whether it's grocery stores or Walmarts or whatever it is, they'll receive several truckloads or trucks that make deliveries a day. Some of the stuff is just local dairy stuff. But a lot of it comes from the distribution center. All right, let's be on our way. I'm actually pretty fascinated by logistics and how the supply chain works.
Get ready to turn left.
There's a lot that goes into
Turn left.
that whole thing, from the point of manufacture to the end user, which is all of us, as we make our trip to the grocery store or whatever store, and we bring back stuff. That stuff got there usually as a result of a number of truckloads.
Turn left.
Meaning it went from the manufacturer, and if it's overseas, like so much of the stuff is, then it gets trucked to the port, loaded on ships, arrives in another port, gets offloaded from the ship, so another truck hauls it somewhere, usually a local warehouse. Then another truck takes it from there to someplace else, usually a distribution center. And then from the distribution center, another truck takes it to the store. And that doesn't even take into account manufacturing. We got a bypass.
Go straight.
There is a whole new supply chain associated with the manufacture of stuff. Raw materials, different kinds of raw materials. Goes to a factory. And I've done some of that too, not the raw material, well, some of it. Here, I'll give you an example. Early on, I went to a place in Buffalo, New York, right near Niagara Falls. Oops, that doesn't work. And picked up a trailer load of tubing. I assume it was copper tubing. Several different diameters. Hauled that load of tubing, copper tubing, to a, I don't know what you call it, a manufacturer in northern Indiana. And I had an opportunity to talk to some of the folks that worked there. And I asked them what they did with the copper tubing. Well, the copper tubing got dispersed out onto their manufacturing floor, where there were several workers with all these different jigs. And they would take this copper tubing, cut it to a specific length, and put it in the jig, and then the machine would then bend the copper tubing into whatever shape it needed to be bent into. You know, all kinds of curves in it. And then once that tubing was cut and shaped, it was then sent on to a factory in another step in the process that would then, those tubes would, they wound up being hydraulic tubing for John Deere tractors. I think they were John Deere, but whatever, they were tractors. So the whole process
Go straight.
of how stuff gets made before it even gets sent to a store, I find pretty fascinating. Meanwhile, I'm not showing you scenery. This is still southwestern Colorado. We will be crossing over into Utah soon. Welcome to Utah. We are coming up on Monticello.
Go straight.
And this is where I had thought to spend the first night.
Stay right, and then turn right. Turn right.
I'm glad to see that there's a number of folks that have some experience in the distribution chain. There's ship, I think that's Shiprock. I've already forgotten. All right, we're coming up on that viewpoint. Hole in the rock. Man, that guy's speeding, it looks like. Maybe it's just the way he changed lanes.
When possible, make a U-turn.
We'll go around this way. Try to get to a couple more comments when I stop here. All right, let's check this out. The Hole in the Rock landmark. I never stopped here. I always wanted to. Yeah, Carlos, I agree. The just-in-time aspect of logistics is fascinating. But we're unfortunately, during the course of the pandemic, we saw what can happen if things don't go right. When any one or multiple parts of the supply chain break. You're right, Trucker King. Adam, I would say the people who make the unbranded items are the same people who make the branded items in many cases. The branded items are private label branding. Sometimes they're made by the same people who make the generic stuff. Oh yeah, the great inland ports, like in Texas. I'm surprised we don't see that more in a few of the inland states. Seems to me there are, well, the Union Pacific yards that we go to in some of the locations, even including Montana. Hello, Zero. Welcome to the stream. Dennis, welcome. Dennis, what do I think about Volvo VNL coming to American Truck Simulator? Well, I guess I'll have to try one just because. But I'm not a fan of Volvos, generally speaking. I don't hate them. I'm just not a fan. I like Kenworth and Peterbilt. That's just me. Oh, we need to check the map. How far to the next stop? 308 miles. Yeah, that's probably good. That's up here at Ogden. How much time is left on our clock? 10 hours. That should do. Wow, we're in Moab already. Colorado River. coast. Coming up on Interstate 70 already.
Stay left, then turn left. Turn left.
I kind of want to be in the cab on some of these curves. I've found that I just don't control the truck as well from the outside when it's curvy. All right, we're coming into Price.
Stay left.
Now, when we stop for the night in Ogden, I am going to get fuel. Although I may wait and do it in the morning. Oops. Yeah, I always enjoy driving through this area, except in the winter. First time I ever took this route, I was with my trainer, Scotty. And we came from the other end, headed the other way. And it was snowing. And I had no idea what to expect on this route. And when we were... Well, I should say it was snowing pretty good. We got off the freeway at, I want to say this was Spanish Fork. Anyway, we got off the freeway and, you know, the snow was starting to get kind of thick, and I noticed that there were some trucks still in town that were putting on chains, tire chains, snow chains. And so I asked Scotty, I'm like, do we have to do that? Because the snow's getting pretty thick. And he said, nah, not unless we have to. And I said, well, what about those guys? And he said, and this is the first time I learned this, they were UPS and FedEx drivers. And he said, yeah, they have to because they only had a single drive axle. So apparently, and I never confirmed this, but apparently if you've only got one axle, one drive axle, in those situations, you do have to chain up. And maybe that was a company requirement. I don't know if it was a state requirement, but it kind of made sense. Anyway, it was interesting, but it was made me really nervous because I was driving. And it was at night. My first time going this way, and it was snowing. You just have to soldier on.
Go straight.
And now here we come, coming up on Interstate 15.
Stay right.
Wow, I can see I'm way behind on comments. We are getting close to Salt Lake City.
Stay left.
And here's the big interchange for I-15 and Interstate 80, or I-80. So 80 runs east-west, 15 runs north-south.
Stay left.
And it won't be much longer before we intersect Interstate 84. And then we're going to follow Interstate 84 all the way to Hermiston, Oregon. Now when I stop up here in Ogden, which is going to be fairly soon, I'm going to have to take a real world break, because I've had a fair amount of coffee. And then I'll catch up on comments. Oops. Oh, I'm splitting a lane. Well, there's the cutoff to take to Interstate 84 east, which, by the way, intersects back with Interstate 80. Now we've got a scale coming up. Let's see if we have to go in.
Stay left. Finding new route.
Our gross vehicle weight is 74,551 pounds. And that's our exit up ahead. We won't actually be changing lanes.
Stay right, and then exit right. Exit right. Turn left.
Ah, it's not even 3 in the afternoon. How much time is left on our clock? 4 hours.
Get ready to turn right. Turn right.
So maybe we'll go ahead and get fuel first anyway. Wow, lots of parking spaces open. Must be the middle of the afternoon. Ah, getting fuel.
Go straight.
Now we'll go out and go back around and grab a parking spot.
Recomputing. Turn right. left. Reroute.
Oh, there's more parking out back. I didn't know that. Good to know. Okay, I need to go take a quick break. I'll be right back. I'm back. I was starting to get to the point where I thought I was going to have to pull off onto an off ramp and hop outside. next to the truck. Ah, I made it though. Let's see. Hello to all of you that have arrived a little bit late. Lee, welcome. Gregory, welcome to the stream. Let's see. I'm just kind of going through these comments here. Hi, Rob. Yeah, I'm having fun out here today. Gregory, join the old fart club. There's a few of us. More trucks at truck sales. I cannot pronounce this. NGAGE Nokia. Should they put more trucks at truck stops to make it harder to park? You know, to be realistic, I think they could. But they should actually, it should fluctuate over the course of the day. Like, for instance, during the day, like now, there shouldn't be very many trucks parked out here. About like this. That's about right. But at night, it should be hard to find a parking spot. The later you get after, say, 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening, it should start to get hard to find a parking spot, to keep it realistic. Thanks, Pilot Bro. You're right. I am by myself today, which is probably my own fault. So, yeah. All right. Let's get back into it. We're going to, before I do anything else, let's see how far we have to go. We have 781 miles. So we want to cover another 500 miles tomorrow. So let's see, what would Pendleton look like if we needed to go there? Let's see here. How far is this? 510 miles. That might be a little bit far. What if we went to this viewpoint, or not viewpoint, but overlook? This is Cabbage Hill. That is 478 miles. We are going to have a full day of driving tomorrow. But I don't want to do this. I don't want to risk this getting here in the dark. Well, we won't, of course, any more than we did today. So if I actually only did about 400 miles, yeah, this is Baker City, I think. Yep. That is 375 miles. It's just over, or it's, let's see, 350 and 350 is 7. Yeah, that's actually not quite halfway. But I have an ulterior motive for stopping there. So, Delivery Mountain. Okay, let's just shoot for that for now and see how it looks. If we're doing really good on time, I may head out a little farther for this overlook. It's a rest area. Okay, I'll advance the clock. And I think I'll advance it to 8 p.m. And then when we get done with our break, it'll be 6 a.m. Yeah, I haven't done Canada yet, Dave. Someday. All right, 6 a.m. and we're going to get back on the road.
Finding new routes. left. Exit left.
All right, we are currently traveling along Interstate 15 and 84, right up here at Tremonton, whatever it is. I-15 is going to continue off to the north, and we're going to continue to the northwest on Interstate 84. We will be on Interstate 84 for the rest of today and part of tomorrow. Can't really see too much this time of the day. Coming up on 7 a.m. But in another hour or so, it's going to be daylight enough we can see better. Welcome to Idaho. That's interesting, Carlos. I think you're right. Hey, XLT Gaming, welcome to the live stream. Good to see you making it. I wouldn't have expected it, considering what happened. Nathan, welcome to the live stream. I can't quite help you out while I'm driving. Maybe someone else in the chat can give you some advice. Rich, welcome. That's a good idea, Rich. I would love to see the AI fixed. Those turns at intersections are really annoying, along with most of the other things they do. For instance, when they pass you and then cut over in front of you and hit their brakes. What's that about? All right, we've got a scale coming up. Let's see if we have to go in. We do.
Go straight.
Oh, we need to get some repairs. We're at 5% damage. Probably all tire related. Yep. Vehicle's not in perfect condition. I think we'll have to do something about that. Well, thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. And if you missed it, Dave says, you are the first channel I watch simulated as if it were in real life. Very good. Thank you. You know, I also have videos on my channel of my real life trucking. My real life trucking adventure. I just had a new video come out yesterday. I've got another one coming out next Thursday. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more later on. Well, I'll talk a little bit about it right now to say that in that video that comes out next week, I'm not driving the exact same route that I am today. But once we get to Twin Falls, from there forward, I'll be driving the same route. I'll talk some more about that later. think I want to stop at that truck stop at Twin Falls. Hopefully I didn't pass it already. Yeah, I think I may have already passed it because I was looking at my phone. Let me check the map real quick. Ah, yep, we did pass it. So in that other video that I'm going to talk some more about later, it's actually running up from here in Ely, or Wells rather, through Jackpot, Twin Falls, and following the same route that we're on right now. Oh my goodness, Rich, thank you. Scared it, startled me. So, but I need to find a place to stop and get some repair work done for my tires. So that would be here. Yeah, we'll stop there. Yeah, I didn't think there was any repair facilities at Mountain Home. Thank you, Rich. I appreciate that. Because I'm almost out of coffee. You notice I'm not yawning today. At least I haven't noticed it. Oh, I tell you what, last Sunday, I just kept yawning and yawning. I just couldn't stop. After the live stream ended, about an hour later, I laid down to take like a 2-hour nap. I slept for at least 4 hours. I was really tired. Nothing seemed to help except to get more sleep. So Rob, you had a nap too? Not only did I have a nice long nap, which felt really good, I didn't wake up till after 7. And then I couldn't go back to sleep later on in the evening. I wound up being up almost all night until after 6 the next morning, and I had to go lay down and get a little bit of sleep. Yeah, it really affected me all that Monday. Sorry, driver. I drifted into the left lane too much. Here we come on to Boise. Now we're coming up on our exit.
Stay right, and then exit right. Exit right. Stay left. Stay left, and then turn left. left.
Oh, I think we'll take the... Oh, we'll take that one. All right, let's see how much we got to deal with here. We got fight. Yeah, it's all on the tires. Lots of wear on the tires. That's good. I mean, it's not good, but you gotta X out of this. Do. All right, we got our maintenance done.
Stay left, and then turn left.
Okay. Oh, we got it. No, we don't have a green arrow.
Turn left.
Well, Adam, they don't normally get that much damage in the course of a couple of days. It's not actually damage. It's wear. That's how the game simulates wear. There really isn't much in the way of maintenance that can be done to tires. I mean, you do need to make sure that the air pressure is at an appropriate level. And that's the thing you should check regularly. You don't always use a gauge to do that. Sometimes you just use a tire thumper. Oftentimes what drivers will do every time they stop for fuel, stop to take a break, they'll walk around the truck and visually inspect their tires for excessive wear. Well, let me rephrase that. You're looking for sidewall damage, but you're also looking to make sure that they have adequate inflation. And you can tell if you look at a car tire, it's the same way. If it looks like it's bowed too much at the bottom or mushrooming at the bottom, then you know it's probably low on air pressure. So you're looking for that, but you're also, you know, thump the tires like with a mallet or a bat, or I even use my hand with a glove on. I just smack the tire you can tell the difference if it's normal or close to normal, or if it's low. If it's low, it's like a thud. So usually when I would stop after driving, you know, 100 miles, couple hundred miles, whatever, if I was stopping for something else, you know, a pee break or fuel, or just to take a break, I would walk around the truck, check all the tires visually, because you never know when you might have had an issue along the way. But as far as normal everyday, you know, problems, you don't notice the wear, the tread wear. But you do have to check that from time to time as well. You can get a tread gauge. You can use a penny. Because if you know what the distance is from the edge of the penny to some point on the penny, and you know what that measurement is, you can use that to check the tread tire, or tire tread. But that's something you don't have to do very often. Oh, here we come into Oregon. There's the Snake River. Welcome to Oregon. Let's try to get back in our lane. Over time, I've had my share of tire problems. Sometimes you just pick up a nail. Sometimes you get a slow leak. That's what you're looking for a lot of the times. Slow leak. Now, we're not far from Baker City. We don't really need to stop, I think, because it's not far. It's not even noon in the game yet. Now that is the Snake River again. Well, Baker City, 1 mile. Yeah, we're making really good time. We don't need to stop there for the night. But I am going to stop.
Right, and then exit right. Exit right. Get ready to turn left.
I'm going to stop at this truck stop and I'm going to talk about next week's video. Because it ties in.
Make the U-turn. Finding new route. Rerouting.
Oh, we could have got repairs here. Doggone it. Oh well. Now the reason why I wanted to come here is in that next video that I mentioned earlier, which is real life trucking. That video, that day of videoing starts here. Because this is the truck stop that I stopped at the night before that video. Now I'll get into this parking spot and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. Oh. I guess we're a little bit longer than that other truck. Ugh. Okay, let me look at comments first. Let's see. Yes, Rob, listen for hissing too. That's right. I do that. Well, I did that every time I hooked a new trailer. I would hook it up. I would try to remember to release the trailer brakes, and then during my pre-trip of that trailer, I'd walk around it, and I would listen for hissing. Not just from the tires either. Let's see. Keystone Freight, welcome to the stream. Yes, Rob is correct. That's one of the mods I use. All of the mods that I'm using are in the description down below. That is the Sissel Route Advisor. Oh, that's what Rob said. Way to go, Rob. Thanks. Okay, in this video that is already ready to go and is going to go live next Thursday, it is from February of 2018. 2018 is when was the last year that I drove over the road. Oh. So I picked up the load. The video that went live yesterday was a continuation that started in Wells, Nevada, and was rolling up interstate, or excuse me, US Highway 93. That load I had picked up in Las Vegas after I had some home time. So I picked up a load of juice from a place near Las Vegas, and I'm taking that load to Yakima, Washington. Well, Sella, Washington, which is a suburb of Yakima. We're going to drive right by it in this live stream. But anyway, on the second night, I stopped at this truck stop. Now, I mentioned it's February during that time frame. Well, it was snowing. So the video that goes live next week picks up, starts right here, almost in this parking spot even, and continues on to Cabbage Hill. And we run into some more snow in Cabbage Hill, and that's where it gets a little dicey. So I'm not going to say any, I don't want to do any spoilers, but yeah. Anyway, next Thursday morning, my time, morning, it'll be, let's see, 6 p.m. In London for you folks in the EU, Europe. Okay, enough of that. Okay. Let's continue on. So once again, in that video, we are pulling out of a parking spot almost exactly the same as this one. Cruising through this parking lot. That garage is there in my video. Doesn't look exactly the same.
Please make a U-turn.
That's a carbon copy for ATS. But some semblance of it exists. As does this scale. And the fuel islands. So I'm going out the same way I go out in that video. But there's no snow today.
Stay left, and then turn left.
One of the things I commented on before I even started driving was I wasn't sure if I was even going to be able to continue on here on the freeway, the interstate, based on weather reports. go. Okay. I should have been in the cab for that. Yeah, even in real life, these curves are kind of tight. You gotta take them slower. And yes, I have videos on my channel that show this drive even during good weather. It shows you how tight these curves are. Relatively tight. We're climbing up to the summit here. I don't remember the name of the summit, but in one of my videos I actually have it. Because I actually, in my real life videos, I recreate a lot of the signs. Because people find them interesting. You know, the mileage sign, how far to Pendleton, how far to whatever. Now in real life, this scale is almost never open. I mean, in the time that I went over, I think it was open once or twice in all the years that I came this way. But in next week's video, I had to actually stop up here, not at the scale, after the scale. This is Cabbage Hill. And in my real life trucking videos, I've got a lot of trips down this hill and up. I have been up and down this hill so many times. Couldn't tell you how many times. And we're at the bottom. And this is Pendleton. And now we're coming up. We're going to get off I-84 coming up.
Stay right, and then exit right. Exit right.
This is Interstate 82. And we will be following this all the way to Interstate 90 on the other side of Yakima. This is the Columbia River, and welcome to Washington. Oh, we got a bypass. I was expected to get pulled in because I always got pulled into this one. Back in the day. All right. Now I've got to find a place to stop to take a 10-hour break. Soon. Like in about an hour or so. We could probably stop at the truck stop in Yakima, because we're not that far from it. 46 miles. Let me put a pin in that truck stop. Yeah, right there. Let's see here. 44 miles. We'll do that. I think this is the Yakima River. Maybe. No, it's not. That wasn't a river. That's it up ahead. I think. Oh, maybe that's a wall. Well, the Yakima River's around here somewhere, and you'll see it in that video. In fact, you'll see it several times. I think that's it off to the left. Oops.
Stay right, and then exit right.
There it is.
Exit right. Stay right, and then turn right. Turn right.
And we're coming up on the truck stop we're going to stop at for the night. I've stayed at this truck stop a few times.
Get ready to turn left. Turn left.
Now we're not going to get fuel, so we're just going to cruise on through.
Finding new route. Rerouting. Recomputing.
Never back in when you can pull through.
Finding new route. Recomputing. Rerouting.
All right, let me catch up on some of these comments. Let's see. RJ, looks like you got blocked a little bit. Let me allow that to come through. Let's see. Rob says, "Hey Boomer, I use a retarder in game for most of my braking assists. Should I use Jake braking or is retarder okay?" Depends, I guess, on your equipment. I use both on this truck. To be fair, until I got into American Truck Simulator, I'd never even heard of a retarder. I didn't have one on any of the trucks that I drove as far as I knew. I only had a Jake brake. And I didn't even have a loud one. It was muffled. Because that's an option. But since I have the option, I have a retarder on the transmission on this truck. So therefore I have both a retarder and a Jake brake. And I have both of them. I can activate either of them with controls on my steering wheel. But I also have the auto retarder and auto Jake brake set. So a lot of times when you hear my Jake brake going off, and because I'm slowing down, it's because it kicks in. Both of them kick in when I step on the brake. You can't usually hear the retarder. Sometimes you can, but a lot of times you can't. Sometimes you can hear the retarder when I'm running on cruise control and I start to build up a little extra speed. The retarder will kick on once I'm 3 miles an hour above my locked-in speed. So if I'm locked in at 65, as soon as I drift up to 68, the retarder will kick in, and it'll slow me down a little bit. So I use both because they're available, and why not? But most of the time I turn on and off the Jake most of the time, but I can turn on the retarder from my steering wheel. Let's see. You guys are talking about snow and stuff. Hey, Paul. Nancy. G'day to you. And RJ. Let's see. Right, and that's RJ. That's my understanding too. The retarders are used in European trucks. I've heard people tell me they don't use Jake brakes in trucks in Europe, or at least some of them. Metalman, welcome to the live stream. I am doing good. Thanks for asking. You know, I have the license plate in the window because it was an option. I actually had both of them, or I had one on both sides, and the one on the right side said Boomer, and the one on this side said Gamer. But now I've only got the one. And it says Boomer, just like the one on the front bumper. Now I don't really know the point of that, because most of the time I didn't have license plates in the window of my real life truck, except when I didn't have my license yet and I had the paper sticker on the right side. But the truck I've been driving at work, I don't have the screws to mount it to the bumper, so I just stuck it up in the front windshield, between the windshield and the dash, just like this. So it's funny that did happen in real life. Thanks. All right, we're going to take our 10-hour break, and then we're going to continue on. We don't have that much farther to go to get to Seattle. And by the way, I think I already mentioned it, but in the video that comes out next Thursday, I delivered right up the road from where we are right now. All right, let's move the time forward to 8 p.m. Take our 10-hour break. And now it's 6 a.m. Let's see how far we have to go. 166 miles. I think I want to come this way. Whoops. No, we don't want to do that. I thought if you came this way, you would find your way going around that way. I guess not. Well, okay. We'll follow the GPS. See ya.
Recomputed. Finding new route.
You do that.
Get ready to turn right. Turn right.
So if you watch the dash, when I stop like that, you should see both the retarder indicator and the jake brake indicator come on. Watch, here, I'll do it. The jake brake indicator is the green indicator in the top left corner. The retarder, I believe that's the retarder on the right side. It's orange. I could be wrong about that though.
Go straight.
But I've noticed that when I turn on the retarder... Okay, there it is, yep. It just has a different indicator. But like I said, until I got into American Truck Simulator, I'd never heard of a retarder.
Go straight.
But as it turns out, because I have the electronic version of the manual for my truck, my Kenworth T680. I still have that as a PDF. I looked up retarder, and that's what they call the jake brake. So the engine retarder and the transmission retarder are two different things. The engine retarder is the jake brake and makes that sound because of how it works. The transmission retarder is a function built into the transmission. It's an option. So it does the same thing, it just does it differently. The two different things. So even after several years of being a truck driver, I learned something new about that. So I've learned things from American Truck Simulator. Like I know I need to get out of this lane.
Stay left. Stay left.
Now we're headed for Ellensburg. It's before we get to Ellensburg that we hit, we'll intersect with Interstate 90. Some of you will be familiar with Ellensburg in the game because from there you go north to Wenatchee. And that's true in real life as well. So in the video from next week, we actually would get off the freeway right about here in the left lane. It's not modeled in the game. But the place we're going to, Sella, is right over there, to the left. Now I was delivering there. Normally I would pick up there. And what I would pick up there is always, it's either apple juice or applesauce. Because it's a treetop warehouse. So most people in the US will be familiar with that brand, Treetop. They do Apple products. There's the retarder, the transmission retarder. So Yakima and this entire area is known for its apples. So when you hear of Washington apples, this is the area that comes from. Not just Yakima, but Yakima is a focal point for a lot of the big Apple products. And not iPods and iMacs and things like that. Not that kind of Apple. Like that's all barrels or bins of apples right there in those warehouses. I don't know why this guy's going so slow. But there's a scale coming up, so I'm going to stay behind him so I don't miss it. Gregory, I hope you do join the Discord. It is a little difficult to get in. I've had to put some safety measures in place to keep the spam bots out. Just follow the instructions. So let's see if we have to go in. We do not. We are coming up on Snoqualmie Pass. Let me tell you something. I did this in winter one time. And there was a chain alert in force. Alert. I wish I'd have stopped to put my chains on because it was scary going down. Because this is actually steeper than what it looks like here. It's pretty steep. For those of you who don't know, I'm actually from this area. I wasn't born in Seattle, but I grew up in my earlier years in the Seattle area. So these green fir trees like this is what I was used to as a kid growing up. It's what I knew. I didn't know we were going to go across the Evergreen Point floating bridge. And that is exactly what this is. This bridge actually floats on the lake. Underneath the bridge, the main section of the bridge, are hollow concrete pontoons. The lake is so deep that's how they dealt with it. So if you're interested, you can always Google Evergreen Point Floating Bridge. You can look it up on Wikipedia, I'm sure.
Stay left.
Welcome to Seattle.
Stay left.
Now we're going to get on Interstate 5. There's the Port of Seattle over there. This yellow building coming up on the right. When I was a kid... Actually, let me see. No, we're going to stay in this lane. When I was a kid, that was still the Olympia Brewing Company.
Stay right. Then turn.
So that was a brewery. Now it's
Turn right.
offices and condos.
Stay right.
I'm sorry, I think that was actually the Rainier Brewery, not Olympia Brewery. The Olympia Brewery is in Olympia. This was the Rainier Brewery.
Stay left. Then turn left. Turn left. Stay left, and then turn left. Turn left.
That sign back there said United Atlantic Intermodal Terminal. That doesn't make sense. This is actually on the Pacific Ocean. So either that's a mistake or I read it wrong. Let's see where we're going.
Get ready to turn left. Turn left.
Make sure there's no trains a coming.
You have arrived at your destination.
Wow, that's bumpy. So, 3.5 days or so. There's where we're going, right there. I think I'll raise the extra axles. As I've said a few other times, I don't need any help oversteering. See what I mean? And there it is. A successful delivery. All right. All right, Rob, your message got okayed. YouTube does like to catch a few things. All right, let's see. Did I go up a level? I did. Wow, made pretty good money too. 51,000. All right, let's add something more to fragile cargo. Let's see how much of the map we have now. I don't remember what it was at the beginning. It was still around 30%. I think it was over 30%. Although I know we uncovered some today. As I said in the beginning, this area between right here and Albuquerque, I did not have that discovered. And then from Albuquerque up to Farmington and a little bit west of Farmington, I did not have that discovered. So that is interesting. Let me take a look at the comments here. Let's see. Gregory got the SKS style shifter with 3 buttons. Yeah, I wished I had that to be able to do the Jake brake from the shifter. That would be a nice thing to have. Oh, okay, RJ, thanks for coming if you're still here. RJ, you're right. European retarders are, well, it's a gearbox retarder, even in the US, from what I've learned. Well, I didn't know that you have to worry about overheating them. Rob, I have not done carrots to Chehalis. That would probably have been local drivers going from the producer, the fields, or the collection point from the fields to the canners. Pedal man, I don't get out anymore. I'm no longer over the road in real life. I have been working part-time doing local stuff here in Las Vegas. That's where I live now. But I'm pretty much I'm semi-retired, no pun intended. Huh. Okay. Well, everyone, it has been pretty awesome. A 1,600-mile trip. Little, well, 3.5 days, not even a half a day, but 3 1/3 of a day, from Tucumcari, New Mexico to Seattle, Washington. It's been great, and more people showed up for this than I actually expected, being that the time of day it was. But again, I wanted to make sure that folks from Europe had a chance. Thank you, RJ. Yes, hit that subscribe button and click the bell for new video and stream notifications. Yes. And give it a like. Yes. Well, speaking of which, because I am going to wrap it up here, if you did like this video, please give it a like. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe and ring that notification bell so you don't miss any notifications, or ring that bell so you don't miss any notifications. Also, if you'd like to support what I'm doing, there's a link down below where you can buy me a coffee, as someone did. By the way, who was that? Someone bought me a coffee. I've already forgotten who that was. I'm senile. Thank you for the coffee, by the way. And then if you're watching this on the replay, there's a thanks button down below. So you can hit the thanks button, throw a couple bucks. And that's it. Thanks again, everyone. I've really enjoyed this. And, oh, I completely forgot. There is, I've got a live stream planned for tomorrow, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. That will be a convoy. I'll be convoying with some folks, or planning to convoy with some folks from my Discord. And I'll stream that. And then I'll have another solo live stream at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. That'll be just like this one. So it'll just be me. And then Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, that will be another convoy where I'll be streaming with other folks who are also streaming. So Bucks the Driving Gamer, I think Pilot Bro, I forget who all is there. So join me tomorrow. What is today? Today's Friday. So join me Saturday. twice. And join me Sunday. Sunday morning, my time, we are convoying in Euro Truck Simulator. So we haven't done that in a little while, so we're going to do that Sunday. All right, that's it. For sure. For real this time. Great, Rob. Thanks a lot. I'll